Hi, it's Polly with Get Busy Thriving, and I want to make this video on lasting change. And a lot of the work I do with my coaching clients is around eating disorders and changing those behaviors, but it goes well beyond that. The idea of lasting change can come up in any area of life. It can be your physical body, it can be your finances, it can be your relationships, things that you're doing that are either getting in your way and stopping you from having the success that you want, or things that you're not doing and make you feel stuck. And this morning I'm here at the beautiful Madonna Inn. This is a really fun place that I enjoy coming to in San Luis Obispo, where I call home. I just thought I would take you on a quick little tour. This is our famous pink bar. It's a great place. I'm just here in between appointments, and it's a nice spot to get some inspiration and some quiet time. So what I want to share with you is about change and lasting change, and there's some points that I wrote down, and I wanted to convey those to you and help you get some momentum going, make some decisions and get some momentum going. So first thing is, what I really got out of my recent experience at UPW, Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within, is how important it is to get leverage on yourself. And leverage is living your life the way that you're living and making it more painful not to change than taking on the change. So the reason people don't change or take an action is because they associate a lot of pain or fear with taking that action or changing their life, leaving the job that they have, the relationship that they have, starting an exercise program. They have no idea how this is going to work out, or just trying something outside their comfort zone, right? So with my eating disorder clients, what that looks like is, well, I know this life, it's not great. In fact, it often sucks, but I'm afraid of, how I'll cope with things or what it could look like. And a lot of them have just for so long been in the eating disorder that they actually lose sight of a life without it. So it just feels comfortable instead of facing those urges and head on, thinking that they're much bigger than them. The pain of taking a step and getting outside of what they're doing, the behavior that they're doing, feels worse than doing something else. And so there's two kinds of pain. There's the pain of discipline, which weighs ounces in comparison to the pain of regret, which weighs tons. And I can say for my own life, I had lived working in a career and going to work every day, and I was making good money and I liked what I did, but just the I don't want to call it the monotony, but the lack of freedom that I felt and the things that I felt like I was missing out on life, I began to look at my life in the future and feel tremendous regret if I didn't change them. I may never get the opportunity to do these things, hiking big hikes in national parks and going on major adventures and just exploring the world if I don't do it now, because I looked at people who were, 20, 30 years ahead of me, retired, that happy point of retirement, you have all the money you want, you've done all this stuff. Oh, now you get to live your life. Well, most of them are in such a poor physical health and state that they can't do the things that I was up for, the things I wanted to do in my life. So that pain of that possible regret weighed heavily on me, and I finally changed my life, quit my job, moved into an RV full time, and I never regretted it. And there's steps that I've had to take, some things that I've had to overcome, both mentally and challenges in the physical world, and people, saying, what are you doing? But I knew in my heart that this is what I needed to do. But what I just want you to remember is the pain of discipline, the act of doing one thing over and over again, like starting a new exercise routine or looking for a new job or starting a new career or breaking out of a relationship and, having to move on. That discipline weighs small on you compared to the regret of not having done that. So the thing for lasting change is you have to make a decision. You have to get to a point where the pain, you have to make the pain feel so real of not changing that you decide that enough is enough. This must change now. Like no more. Enough. This must change now. And then the next step is, I must change this now. You have to realize that it's up to you. Nobody else is going to do this for you. Nothing else is going to change in your life unless you change. It's you that needs to make the change. I must change now. And the last one is, I can change this now. I can do something different. I can be the change that I want for my life. I took that step not only in, I used to smoke, so as a teenager I was a smoker. I took the step and I changed that behavior. I had an eating disorder for 20 years. I changed that behavior and I never looked back. I was working in a career that I enjoyed and I was making good money, but it wasn't my passion and my purpose, and I changed it. I decided I can change this now. This must change now, and I can change this. I took those steps. I finally broke free of what the inertia, the old mental chatter sounded like, and I did something different. And have found recently in coaching a few clients that it's really, really important that you begin to believe in possibility. I think believing it's possible. And how we begin to believe it's possible is we like open our mind up to, wow, two women I coached this week hadn't even had the thought, I brought it up in the conversation, they hadn't even had the thought that within a few months or 6 months, like this eating disorder, the problems that they were facing in their life, the lack of physical well-being could be done forever in 6 months. Like they could have a totally different life in 6 months. They were like, wow, I hadn't even thought about that. So they weren't even thinking. The vision, the possibility wasn't even planted in their mind. So that was one thing that just bringing that up to them, I helped them get clarity on and start to tap into, which is the power of our imagination, the beginning to believe it's possible. And I think belief is just a thought we keep thinking until we believe it's true, or we have an experience that really gives us a powerful feeling and a sense of, okay, that's the way that it is. But to begin to believe something different, I think you have to start telling yourself something different. So the story they were telling themselves is, this is never going to change, this is never going to change, this is never going to change. You start to get into this rut. And what they opened up to was, what if this could work? 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 I could be different. I could be different. I could be different. I could be free. I could be free. I could be, what they started building momentum and started tapping into that possibility. And it's what you give airtime to. The story you tell yourself, the most often you begin to believe, right? So, and then what happens is the brain starts to find evidence of it in the world, starts to bring people into your life that have had these experiences. Serendipity show up, like, wow, maybe this could happen, right? Maybe this could be true. It trains the brain. It gets the brain looking for those things that you want. It activates what's called the reticular activation system, and the brain starts to find more evidence for it. So what appeared hard or lack of possibility, once you start to teach the brain, maybe this could be true, maybe this could be true, maybe this could be true, I think I can do this, I think I can do this, I think I can be free, I think I can be free, whatever it is you say over and over again, that will start to activate things. You'll start to see new possibilities. So give that a try. And I just want to recap and say, I think there's 3 things for lasting change. Maybe there's more in this, but let's just stick with 3. And that is, you have to associate massive pain with not changing. Until you associate massive pain with not changing and pleasure with changing and having that different life and starting to see a vision for your future that looks completely different than the crap life that you've had, you're not going to change. You'll stick with comfortable inertia, the brain, everything is against you. So it's creating either an experience in the moment, telling yourself like how horrible this is, looking at, spending time in the past of like how horrible it's been living this way and how horrible it would be if you lived this way, or how much you would miss out on the regret, building that regret up so powerful that it just viscerally you feel, if I don't change this, I'm just going to have this massive amount of regret. So you need to associate massive pain with not changing. The second thing is, once you have that associated pain, you decide and commit. That enough moment, I say. It's like, enough. This must change. And then you change your story. You change the story and you begin to repeat it over and over again. You decide, you commit. And once you have that decision and that commitment, the discipline will come, because you've associated so much pain with either the past or continuing into the future that you're like, I'm committed. Like, this is happening, hell or high water. And you never give up. The third one is you correct and you continue, right? There are so many ways that you can go about getting your goal, the outcome that you want, finding a new job, starting a new business, finding the love of your life, losing weight, gaining weight, whatever it is for you, stopping your eating disorder, smoking, drinking, whatever that is. Whatever it is that you want to change, whatever it is the outcome that you most want, you never give up pursuing it, and you correct and continue along the way. That's the third thing. I've had so many people that I've coached along the way try this. It's experimentation. We don't know what's going to work for everyone. There is no silver bullet that your path will look exactly like someone else's path. Should you find models for success? Absolutely. Talk with people like coaches like myself or other people who have done what you're trying to do and find out how they've done it. Find a plan. Get a plan started. If something doesn't work though, don't give up. Correct. Continue. Keep going until you reach your outcome. I hope this has been helpful. Change it's not a perfect thing, and sometimes it's not even a fun thing. But if you have that commitment and you believe that you deserve it, and I believe we all deserve to live a spectacular life, and when we are, that's life fulfilled and on our own terms. So if you're not, look at that area of your life that you're stuck or you're frustrated and say, get to the point, build up enough leverage on yourself, associate massive pain with not changing and say, this must change now. I must change it now, and I can. And get started. I hope that helps.